was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens. Now they try the right side here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he goes out right around the 39. 8 yards there on a 1st down.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Timmy Jernigan in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, it's Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now it's the Boise State along, Jay Ajayi, and he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets it.
And he's going to go down again. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 2nd down, Jackson. But he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's the first catch of the game for Goodwin. It's a 1st down. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. To throw is Jackson. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of a short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Again, Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. His first catch, good for 16 and a 1st.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They'll go with the keeper. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson scoring on the sneak for a yard out. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Spins away.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action. Now Wentz. Rolling And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. C.J. Mosley in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Lion, lion, lion. Lion, lion. That's it.
On play action, it's Wentz. And the pressure gets to him again. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 15. They go play action here on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson going up top. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position. Couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He can run for it, and he will. The quick feet by Jackson. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down.
But to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Eagles have recovered. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Throwing on 1st is Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. On play action, Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Here's Ajayi, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it. Those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's good for a Raven first down. 15 yards there. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Right back to him on first down. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Leopard! 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 Gun! 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 Gun!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Evades him at the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead. So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
On first down, Wentz. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
40, 82, 40. What's up?
Wentz will try again on 2nd down. And this one is incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Shotgun now for Wentz. Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. After the interception, here's Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Gone! Watch it now, Barney! All right, now, lucky 56.
Now Jackson on first down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Jackson now. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. In for the score. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this is Ertz with it, right side. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Let's find two.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now a timeout taken.
Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now Wentz throwing on second down. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they work this well upfield across the 45. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is
I'm
doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Wentz to throw on second down. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Great.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. Looking left side, and it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First target, first catch, and a first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Wentz now on first down. And an alley run. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Run. 81. Shift. Check 48 to the right. Check 48.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now Wentz on third down. And that is incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them. I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Now a chance to take advantage of that missed field goal. 1st and 10, way up at the 37. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. He's got it at the 15. A big play that time for the Ravens. 51 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Timmy Jernigan in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now Jackson on 2nd down, eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Detroit!
They go play action with Jackson. Being chased out left. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And now here come the Ravens. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. 81 yards. And the Ravens will extend their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Ravens have got it. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. If you got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
They come out here in the eye. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great effort there with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
There we go. Back man. 120.
Defense wins championships, baby. Check 99. Check 99.
Shorty. Black. Come on.
48.
Listen.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And a reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there at 22.
Lion. Run. Black. Great.
Wentz now on 1st down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Obi Melifonwu. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Flush to his right, and he finds Tyler Kroft. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first.
Lucky 56. Gone.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Play action. Now Jackson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, they can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Patriot! Detroit!
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it and give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. So another score there. Often you talk about the free phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was.